guys, and welcome to day 5 of SPOOKY7, which is the Halloween series that I started on this channel. And I thought, what better way to bring in the Monday before Halloween than with a Mystery Monday. So with that all being said, let's jump right into this case. Patricia Ann Spencer was born on January 10th, 1953, and was known by family and friends as Patty. Pamela Sue Hobley was born on May 24th, 1954, and was known by family and friends as Pam. Besides that, and the fact that both girls were close to their families and enjoyed partying, I couldn't find too much on their personalities. Both girls had attended the same high school in Oakland in Michigan. And on Halloween Day in 1969, 16-year-old Patty and 15-year-old Pam had similar plans to attend the school's homecoming football game and then afterwards attend a Halloween party. Pam had told her mother that she would be home shortly after her mother would return from taking her little sister trick-or-treating. But when Pamela never showed up, her mother became a little bit worried. And to add to her concerns, shortly after returning home from trick-or-treating, Pamela's boyfriend, who she had recently gotten engaged to, showed up at the family home. He said that the couple had plans that evening, but Pam had never shown up. This is what really set Pamela's mother in motion, and she started calling around to see if anybody had seen her daughter. And that is when she found out Pam's other schoolmate, Patricia Spencer, was also missing. Now, one of the strangest parts in this case is these girls weren't even friends. They had known about one another, but they didn't speak or hang out in the same circle at all. Both girls were last seen on Halloween Day around 2:30 p.m. outside of the high school after the school had been evacuated allegedly due to a bomb threat, but this is not believed to have anything to do with the girls' disappearance. The girls were last seen walking away from the school down River Road towards the business district. For many, many years, this was the last known sighting of these two girls until May of 2013. A motorist came forward and said that he had actually picked the girls up on Halloween Day in 1969 and he dropped them at a gas station along River Road and Interstate 23. This motorist said that he told investigators about this information many years ago when he had first heard about the girls going missing. But I guess investigators didn't think this was a key bit of information because they never released it to the public, and I don't think they ever looked into it too deeply. The original theory in this case was that the girls ran away, but this was quickly dismissed after the girls didn't return home after a couple of weeks. Neither of the girls brought any money or identification with them, and they are now considered endangered missing. And investigators believe that it is most likely that they have met foul play. Both girls were known to have experimented with drugs and alcohol. Now, I don't really know what that has to do with the case because I don't think that is any kind of link to their disappearance, but it is mentioned in almost every single article that I read about this case, so I just thought I'd throw it in here just as a little bit more information about the girls. Pamela was last seen wearing a 3/4 length white fox fur coat with brown fur trim. Also wearing a long-sleeved white blouse with ruffled sleeves as well as knee-high socks and chunky heels. A photo of a girl who looks eerily similar to Pamela Hobley was actually found in the possession of a serial killer by the name of Rodney Alcala. I'm going to put a photo of the girl and Pamela side by side here so that you guys can see how much they look alike, but I also just want to mention how strange it is that the girl in the photo is wearing a fur coat, similar to the one that Pamela was described as being last seen in. Rodney Alcala, also known as the dating game serial killer, as he appeared on a TV game show, is a convicted rapist and serial killer. In 1969, Rodney was actually on the FBI's most wanted list after he had killed an 8-year-old. He had escaped and nobody knew where he had went until the 1970s when he was found living in New York, and he was only found because he tried to enroll in a film school and was using a fake name. More than 1,000 photos were found in Rodney's possession after he had been arrested in his home of both men and women. Many of these photos of these people have these people in sexually explicit positions, and most of these people in these photos have never been identified, including the girl in this photo who looks like Pamela Hobley. Now, I don't believe that this theory has been looked at too deeply by investigators, but there is no denying that that photo of the girl in the fur coat looks eerily similar to the photo of Pamela that was released to the public. And even people who knew Pamela said that this photo looks eerily similar to her at the time of her disappearance. So that leaves me questioning if maybe there's a lost photo that looks exactly like Patricia. In 1978, investigators received a tip that the two girls were murdered by two local men whose names remain unknown to the public. This theory went that these men had murdered the girls and buried their body under a barnland in that area. This area was searched extensively by investigators and cadaver dogs, but nothing was ever found. It has also been speculating that the Oakland child killer could be responsible for the disappearance of Pamela and Patricia. This is an unidentified serial killer who has never been caught but is believed to have been responsible for the murder of 4 or more children in the Oakland County, Michigan area. The killer's known victims ranged from age 10 to 12 and are both boys and girls. Is it possible that this unidentified serial killer was driving through their town and saw the 2 girls hitchhiking and picked them up? At first I thought that the girls were a little bit older than his normal victims, but after reading about this serial killer a little bit more, I found that he is believed to have been responsible for the murder of 2 14-year-old girls as well as 1 16-year-old girl. So that kind of puts Patricia and Pamela at his right range of age for his victims. In 2010, Detective Mark Davids was put on this case, and he actually grew up in this area and was around the same age as the girls when they disappeared, so he really takes this case personally and is determined to close it. Both girls are now considered endangered missing, and the police have a theory that the girls were hitchhiking to wherever, nobody knows where they were hitchhiking to, and they were picked up by 2 or more people, and then they were eventually murdered. Now, the reason that it is believed that they were picked up by 2 or more people is because it is very, very difficult to abduct 2 sober teenagers and without causing a scene or without them screaming and causing some kind of attention. So that would be very difficult for one person to do, which is why it is believed that 2 or more people are involved in their disappearance. Pamela's younger sister Mary is very, very active in both of the girls' case. She said that she never ever believed that the girls had run away, especially because Pamela had just gotten engaged at that time and she was very, very happy with where her life was going, so she had 0 reason to want to disappear. Age progression photos of both of the girls have now been released, and in 2013, police announced that they had a person of interest in this case, but they just needed a little bit more information to be able to release his name to the public and consider him a prime suspect. Since then, no more information about this person has been released to the public, so nobody is sure who this person is or whether or not they are still a person of interest in this case. Because both of the girls are known to have not taken any forms of identification with them when they disappeared, physical data would be needed to identify them if they are ever found. Pamela Hobley's dental records have been obtained, but Patricia Spencer didn't have any dental records on file. And neither girls had fingerprints on file, but I do believe that the DNA was successfully obtained in other ways from both of the girls. My heart goes out to the families and loved ones of both of these girls, as it is such a shame that they were disappeared at such a young age when they had all of their lives ahead of them. And they just were planning on having a fun day, you know, going to a football game and then a Halloween party, and something just completely put this to a stop. But with this new investigator on the case who is absolutely determined to close this one, I am fairly confident that this will be closed very soon. But guys, that brings us to the end of this video. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to comment down below what you'd like to see in my future videos, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on that notification bell so that you don't miss any more videos from me. And I'll see you tomorrow for another Halloween themed video similar to this one. Bye guys!